Hi, everyone. Good to see you. Sorry it's so late. Remember I told you the clock on my laptop changed? Well, I was sat down to do the show about an hour ago and it said obviously still had an hour. So sorry about that mix up, but right. Hi, Misty, and keep up the chatter. Hey, Trishy. Got a lot of mods in here. Did I have members only for this one too? I did. That's right. This is our members only. I was going to say, where are all the family members? And they are invited in here. It's not just mods. Hi, everyone. Sorry for the confusion. Sorry it's so late. Hi, little Miss Sunshine. How are you? So good to see you all. Today is February 2nd, the second day of February. Hi, more candy. How are you all? Hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day. Hope you had a wonderful day. Let me look at what you're saying so far as you come in here. That's funny. Keep up the chatter. I just sent out a poll to all of you on the community post for everyone to answer if you were interested in the Megan Boswell trial, because I followed that case. I covered that case, and I want to watch that trial, or at least keep up when I can in the evening. So hopefully you all will do it with me. That's what I'm planning on talking about tomorrow. So her trial, her jury selection begins tomorrow. The baby is Evelyn. She was 15 months old when she was unalived. Her mother, Megan, who was 18 years old at the time, was arrested in 2020 and has been there since for all these years, delay after delay after delay. But they never reported her missing. I'll just give you a quick update because I'll catch you up tomorrow too. They never reported her missing. The last time she was seen was in December. Grandpa reported her missing in February. The mother gave the police one story after another as to where she was. She first said she was with her daddy, who was in the Army. Not true. Then she said she was with her mother in Virginia at a campsite. Not true. So she had all these stories and cried on TV, for the public. And she was first arrested, I believe, for lying to the police. And her trial is tomorrow for the unaliving of her child. Many, many, many charges, I believe 18 to 20. I will know that tomorrow for sure. I've seen 2 different reports tonight, so I want to verify. But that is little sweet Evelyn Boswell. She is the cutest little baby. She was just walking, learning to talk, just precious little cheeks and blonde hair. Just a very, very tragic, tragic story. And I remember when they finally charged Megan with the unaliving of Evelyn. It was so sad because they found her on the grandfather's property. He had called and said, you might want to check my property. They found her in a shed. And then I remember later on hearing the medical examiner's report that trigger warning. We're talking about Evelyn Boswell. The trial starts tomorrow for justice for this little sweet girl. And I'm just giving you a quick recap, and I'll catch you up tomorrow too, after in the evening or in the morning before work if I can. Okay. So they found her, and sadly, when the medical examiner, released information, the autopsy, she was wrapped very tight in a blanket. Then she was wrapped very tight on top of that blanket with tin foil, and then put in a plastic bag, and then put in a trash can head first. Buckle up while alive. So, and if any of you followed Summer Wells' case, it's not far at all from where Summer Wells went missing. And as a matter of fact, Don Wells, Summer's father, actually helped search for Evelyn. The irony, right? Really interesting, but it's a tragic story. Hi, Doodle Mom 24. Hi, Queen Cece. Queen Cece, I have no idea. I think we are all just... The thumbs up is broken. Oh no, everyone try the thumbs up, please. Hit that thumbs up on your way in. It's because I'm so late. That clock, like I said on my laptop, changed. And again, I messed up the time. So I was planning to be here an hour ago. So I apologize. So what are we talking about now? Let me see. I know. The Evelyn's mother was charged and put behind bars and arrested for lying to law enforcement. I think they charge her with numerous counts. Let me say that. So I will remind myself, I knew the case so well. Remember, it's been many years. 2020 is when this occurred, and it's been delay after delay after delay. Megan's changed lawyers, whole thing. So we are now going to have jury selection tomorrow. And like I said, this is not far from where Summer Wells went missing. Megan's from Sullivan County. So I'm glad you all are interested. I hope you're interested. I'm very interested. Hello, Gma. How are you? Hello. So tonight what we're talking about is we're going to listen to our friend, Justin from Clutch Them Pearls. He's on Nancy Grace, or going to be. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. He's so kind. I'm so happy for him. And he played the podcast for us, some of the podcast for us yesterday. And he gives me permission to play his stuff. So I thought we'd watch this together. I myself am really surprised. I think it means something that Nancy mentioned the lights and the images in the backyard. Okay, because she would not do that I don't think she'd be putting that out there if it was nonsense. Excuse me, Queen Cece. Megan was 18 years old and Evelyn was 15 months. Just a terrible, terrible story. I believe that, yes, the trash can was inside Megan's playhouse from when she was a little girl. I am too. I'm really proud of him. So I think it's really relevant, and maybe I'm wrong. Queen Cece, I'm going to catch us all up and then track the trial for us, okay? I can't watch it with y'all all day, but I can track the trial and give you updates, and I'll catch you up tomorrow on her story. She's just precious. Right before we came on, since I had that extra hour. Hi, Whispering Winds. Hello, everyone coming in. Since I had that extra hour, I was making my thumbnail. Just a precious child. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome. So I was saying, and I don't know how all of you feel, But I think for Nancy Grace, who's no nonsense, gets to the point, I think Nancy Grace would not have something on her show that she did not deem relevant to the disappearance of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I do not believe Nancy Grace would have just drama and lies on her show. Okay? So I believe this is very relevant. We are going to watch it, and it is full credit. And you know, I need to be stopping it throughout and talking about it for fair use. And I want to anyway. She also mentions the Texas Roadhouse footage. And Tony does let her know that that's no longer relevant. So interesting, right? Really, really interesting. So, welcome in, everyone. We're not going to be here all night, real long. We're just going to watch this. I wanted to watch this as a family together. I'm sure some of you've seen it already over on Clutch Them Pearls. This is full credit to him and Nancy Grace. And we are going to watch it and go through it. And it will be airing, well, this coming up week now. Okay. We don't know when, but it will be coming. I am too. I'm nervous. The images. Hi, Jennifer Gilly. Hello, my wonderful family. I love our reunions. Seeing different faces here today at this time, which is kind of nice too, in a way. Different people being able to make it in here. Hi, Doodle Mom 24 and God's Girl 1971. Perfect Pun, aka Jenny Mount. Jenny, how are you? Yes. So, to me, what that means is we're getting very close, and I hope you watch. Hi, Joanne McNeil. I hope you watched my video from earlier. I hope you watched my video from earlier where we talked about Brandon Carter. I did a live where he's saying that the dates got mixed up. And I did a video, talking about him saying that and what that could mean. And then after my video, I really sat down and thought about it. And I thought, no, I'm leaning towards they're trying to deter us. Just like with the flashlight video, they tried to get that narrative out there that it was a trash truck. I believe, because think about this. The images and Brandon Carter's email both came out at around the same times. So I think it's their way of trying to say to people, oh, no, this was a big mix-up. He really was last seen on the 5th because that would invalidate the images in the backyard. I think like the flashlights, law enforcement has not deemed them relevant. I believe they are, as do most experts who now have channels and speak on the case. I believe the images to be real. I've seen things in the images. I've looked at the images. We've discussed the images. We see different things, and that's okay because we're all taking a little bit as we study. And then I was really stunned and surprised and delighted, though, to see that this was talked about on Nancy Grace. Because to me, it shows that it's valid. I may not have Whispering Winds. When was, if it was today, no. I've been on and off here pretty much all day. That's all I've done. I will go watch as soon as I can tomorrow evening. Is it a good one? Oh, and please remember not to mention other creators in the chat. I noticed earlier today, a lot of people were throwing out names in the chat. I know you're people who are so kind and loving and encourage all of us creators. You encourage us, but there's other people who will just say hateful things, and we don't want that in our chat. So she talked about it. We're going to watch it. Credit to Clutch Them Pearls and Nancy Grace, because this will be on Nancy Grace. They are putting information in, Tony said, and so we'll see it next week. Let's get started. It's a little bit late already tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, I'm going to mute so you don't get a echo, and I will come in and out. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Shade A77. Hello, everyone. Sorry for the late time. Got my clock wrong because of that clock on that, or got my time wrong because of the laptop. I got to figure out how to change that. Thank you all for being here. Mods, you're here in force. I so appreciate you. Each and every one of you. I'm going to mute, and then I'll come in and out, and we'll discuss it.
Get it started. Credit goes to our the OG of live true crime, Nancy Grace. Credit goes to her. Let me give her the credit. Link is provided in the description. Just go ahead and cry. We are all here. Oh, thank you. The truth you can't handle. That's okay, Delby. Thank you for that. All right. Yes. Let's get to 1,000 so we can have a chicken party. You don't want to miss the chicken party. Really do appreciate you.
Roger's dad vows we will find him. This as video enhancement reveal. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us. That is the moment that Sebastian's mom and stepdad realize he's gone. You go in your child's room, but at 6 a.m., he's not there. Where is a missing autistic teen, Sebastian Rogers? Not only the search, but the heartbreak seemingly never ending.
Let me know if is it too loud? Is it too loud? They cut the part where she they cut the part
Hi,
where she
Stephen.
said,
welcome in. Good to
Justin,
see you again.
You know, they don't use
I know several
YouTubers,
of you have emailed
anything.
me.
I wanted them to
I
play
have to
that.
get to my email still. Remember, I working, doing this
because
have a lot going
but
on.
I wanted to get all of it out, but
I'm
I wasn't
so
able to
sorry.
get it all out.
I'll do better.
Because at the end she said, Justin, is there anything else? And I said, Nancy, I want to go back. I said, because, I had emailed the sheriff and asked if there was anything, that Edgar couldn't say, like, specific dates. Actually, my friend emailed, and they said no. And I said, last time he said on your channel that he couldn't give specific dates. And when, he said that, that was a hang up. That was a hang up. I'm going to try to get through it quick, Josh, so you can go live. We'll all go over there. And I said, and she said, that's when she said, Justin, she's like, cut, or not cut, but she's like, 3, 2, 1. I got to take up for the, she's got to be balanced, as possible. She's like, well, Justin, that YouTubers don't owe you anything, or he doesn't owe YouTubers anything. But I wanted to be like, but that was like at the very, very, very end, and then it was just over. There was no more recording after that because it had taken almost 3 times as long as it normally does to record this because they was having a lot of trouble. And
hi family, thank you for being here and watching this as a family.
But I wanted to say, well, we know where KK was the whole month, Sebastian was the whole month, Seth the whole month. Why is the only one we don't know is Edgar? Wanted to say that, but I didn't get to.
This, as Sebastian's biological father joins us tonight and vows, we will find you, Sebastian. Take a listen to his bio mom, Katie Proudfoot.
When I woke him up for school, he wasn't there. I took a second and walked through the house looking for him in case he'd gotten up, was trying to get rest or something, because he did that sometimes. Found him.
I just want to say real quick, I've always found it really odd. Hit that thumbs up, please, my friends. I've always found it really odd that she says, I went to wake him up and he wasn't. Wait, how does she put it? Hold on. Let me listen to it again. I just find it really odd the way she says it. Hold on. I'll be
when, he a lot of trouble. And
a second and walked through the house looking for him in case he'd gotten up and was trying to get breakfast or something, because he did that sometimes. As
I'll go over there. When
my husband, Chris, Sebastian, take a listen to his bio mom, Katie Proudfoot.
When I woke him up for school, he wasn't there. I took a second.
When I woke him up for school, he wasn't there. I find that a really odd statement. When I woke him up for school, he wasn't there. I just find that odd. It just doesn't sound right to me. Okay, here we go. So they've got having KP discuss the first morning.
And walked through the house looking for him in case he'd gotten up and was trying to get breakfast or something, because he did that sometimes. About 3 minutes in, give or take, I was on the phone with my husband and said, I can't find him.
Let me tell you something. Nancy was so nice to me. Like, honest to God, she was so nice. I like very, very accommodating, very generous. The entire staff, they're all amazing.
He said, what do you mean you can't find him? I said, he's not in the house.
That's from our friends at WSMV. That's when Katie Proudfoot spoke out in the search for her son, Sebastian. Now, Let's take a listen now. After hearing Sebastian's mother, Katie Proudfoot, say, when I woke him up for school, he wasn't there. I took a second. I walked through the house in case he forgot and was trying to make breakfast, because sometimes he did that. 3 minutes in, I was on the phone with my husband, Chris Proudfoot, stating, I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean you can't find him? And I said,
Well, I mean, everyone that is somebody has to offer something that sets them apart, right? And Nancy is a former prosecutor, and she knows how to read people. She knows the questions to ask. She knows if you're bullshitting her. She can read right through it. So, I think, she's just kind of no nonsense when it comes to that kind of stuff.
he's not in the house. The seemingly never-ending search for missing autistic boy Sebastian Rogers is taking a very heavy toll on his father, Seth, who is joining us tonight. And you can find Seth on a YouTube channel, Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father. And I ask you to go visit his YouTube site. Seth,
She is a pro at what she does. Like, honestly, she is a pro at what she does. Like she just wings it one time and she's just ready to go. Like, she doesn't mess up. She's really a pro.
thank you for being with us. The toll this must be taking on you, one dead end after the next.
It's another day. It's just every day. It's another day. Another day I don't have Sebastian. Another day I have to chase down every lead that comes in. Every lead that comes in with us, we make sure that TBI has it, Sumner County has it, but we also chase it down.
Joining me in addition to Seth Rogers, who is Sebastian's bio dad, Tony Mathis is joining us, who is the spokesperson for Seth Rogers, but also a great, great source of strength for him. Tony Mathis, thank you for being with us. I noticed just then how Seth dodged my question. I asked about him and the toll this is taking on him. And as usual with him, it's all about Sebastian. He completely deflected what this is doing to him and went back to, I got to find my son. I'm getting new tips.
Hey, guys, click that link there that ICU is showing. We have a true crime group over there. I'm also going to be doing lives over on Facebook. Are you looking at visuals while the show is being recorded, Justin? No, it's just like you're watching. It's just a panel, or the camera will be just like you and Nancy, or you and whoever, and all that. If you're not on Facebook, that's okay. That's okay. But we have a true crime group over there. It's growing very quickly, and sub up to it.
I'm following tips. Will you describe what this has been doing to Seth Rogers?
Yeah, Nancy, thanks for having us. He's broken. He can't, when you're riding around in the truck with him, he'll fall asleep. When you're talking to him on the phone, he'll fall asleep. He's worn out. He's mentally, physically, emotionally exhausted. All the while he's got, people attacking him on social media. It's just exhausting, and you won't ever
Okay,
hear
wait a
him.
minute. Wait right there. You know what, Tony and Seth, when I was researching everything I could get my hands on, making phone calls, begging for information,
Thank you, Lynn.
this case, like few others, and there have been others, but the search for Sebastian has turned into an all-out dogfight on social media and in mainstream media and on linear TV. Why, Tony? Why isn't everyone uniting to try to?
It's so amazing to me that it is a like Nancy says, a dogfight, but the people that aren't doing anything that I have seen in the last 6 or 7 months, at least publicly, is Edgar and KK.
And I think it's just really sad that the disappearance of Sebastian, hi everyone, the disappearance of Sebastian has national attention, and they have to address drama and hate, right? Just unbelievable that has to get airtime instead of about Sebastian. But I'm sure the world's just shocked. Why is this happening? Let's go ahead and continue. For those of you just coming in, I think my thumbs up might be broken because it says 0, and I know I have you guys here. So I think we may have a broken ticker going on up there. Welcome in. We are watching or listening to the podcast Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. Credit to Nancy Grace and Clutch Them Pearls. He is on there with Tony Mathis and Seth Rogers, and we are listening to it through his channel, giving him credit because we are very proud of him. He is a friend of the channel, and it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Let's continue and see what Nancy says about the disappearance of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Hey, Shellbell from Oz. UC25? Yeah, sorry you all. I'm on so late, but you know what? We'll keep it up. Hi, Shellbell. Thank you for coming over. We love Justin. Justin's a friend over here. We're going to keep listening. And welcome in, Shellbell.
Where are they? They were invited. Nancy will tell you this. They were invited. Edgar, it's national. It's national.
Find Sebastian. I don't get it.
Well, I think a lot of the content creators have realized that if there's constant chaos and drama, then they continue to make money off of that stuff. I think that there are a lot of good content creators that continue to focus on the child in the case. But, we try very hard to keep Seth away from the drama and allow him to focus on his son, which he's done a great job of. But again, he's exhausted. He's mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted.
Seth Rogers, where are the tips coming from that you're describing?
My private investigator has a firm that has a hotline set up. Dog and Bounty Hunter has a hotline set up. And I'm in communication with all of them.
We are looking at nearly $250,000 reward for information leading to the answer. Where is Sebastian? At this,
I want to do like a Nancy Grace parody. I really think I could nail it because I love her. I've loved her for a long time. I just need to find a Nancy Grace word.
We are learning that in addition to trying to find Sebastian alive, there is an alternative investigation going on. And there has to be. Joining me is a very special guest, Dave Moyer. Dave is Georgia K-9 National Training Center instructor for all tracking needs. He manages military contracts. He was a deputy K-9 handler at San Bernardino Sheriff's. Dave, I know no one wants to hear this, but in all searches for missing people, there are two alternative searches. There have to be. One search is if Sebastian is still walking this earth, and the other is if he has passed on. That's the harsh reality, Dave.
Yes, ma'am. And unfortunately, that is not only harsh, but it's accurate. Now, again, what these dogs are able to follow is the human trail, and that the theory behind that being it's as people are walking away from a location, the dead skin cells, the oils, the different bodily fluids that are falling off their body leaves a biological trail. Now, that biological trail, the canine, the theory behind the canines, of course, is that the canines are following.
I miss like HLN when Nancy was on there and like all the true crime at night. Like I would rather watch those shows than I would a bunch of government officials fighting with each other. Just me, but I thought that was good. You know, I'd rather watch that anyway.
That biological trail that the person leaves behind and its natural decomposition. Now, not to be confused with decomposition of any human remains, but this is just.
Remember like the Casey Anthony days? That was crazy. And the guy that he said the child was missing, the police were breaking into his house as he was doing the interview. They found the child in his house.
Trail itself.
Douglas McGregor joining us. He is the so-called geographic profiler, and that is the name of his podcast as well, who specializes in geographic profiling. Douglas, I want one of two things. I either want Sebastian found alive,
Oh, yeah, hot mom,
or I want justice. There are two alternative investigations.
Diddy. She says, did he do it? Did he do it? I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Is going on right now. This case is not cold. Describe the two types of investigations ongoing, Douglas.
Thank you for having me on, Nancy. And like you said,
I think that's really interesting. And I wanted to just say the way she pointed out, she's so good. I just love the way she just gets to things, points things out. There's always, with every missing person, two searches. A search that they are a rescue, that they are with us, and a recovery that they are not. She said, absolutely, with every missing person, they need to be, that's what they're doing. So I love, hey, YouTuber, I love the way she put that. She's just so good. So now they're going to explain the two searches. And trigger warning for those of you, if you haven't heard it, one alternative. Hi, Mini Panthers. Sorry, this is a late show, but I wanted to spend time with the family again before the weekend was over. I messed up with the clock again on the laptop. I've got to figure out how to change that back. And yeah, so I do. Yeah, keep up the chatter. That was crazy, wasn't it? I mean, he was just, whoa, whoa, whoa. It was just quite the act. But crazy, crazy. So what this one though, where we're at right now is, I lost my train of thought, you all. I'm just going to get back to it. Thank you all for being here. I truly appreciate your support to the channel, to me, to Sebastian, to Seth, to everyone looking for him. You are an amazing, amazing crew. I'm going to mute now.
This case is not cold. Sebastian's case is not cold. Just because we are waiting does not mean nothing is being done. I can tell you, everybody at Sumner County is working on this. They are working. In my opinion, if it was not fruitful, if they were not getting answers, Eric Craddock said they were getting answers, this detective would not be on this case, the only case that he has done for the past 11 months.
law enforcement will be working on those two investigations, one criminal and one non-criminal. Now, in looking at a case like this, you have to look at possibility and probability, and there's only so many reasons that a child and a child with autism go missing from a residence.
Do I think Summer's case is cold? I don't. I think it's, yeah, it is cold. Do I think they know who did it? Yes, I do. But I don't think that they have enough. But I also think Ronnie Lawson needs to get off of it and give it the full case over to CBI. Let
Amen to
FBI
that.
get in there. You know, I believe in Summer's case,
I don't believe Sebastian's case is cold. There's too much happening.
did a
right
lot
now,
of
too many
missteps in the
things that
beginning.
are coming out. I don't think that.
I do.
these
I think
things
they
are
did a lot of
relevant.
missteps. I mean, they let
Or
them
Nancy
stay
didn't
in the
even let them
house
on her
the
show.
entire night, and they did the any forensics, if you will, the next day.
And before we attack Chris and Katie too much, that most children who do go missing from their home. And when it comes to
Hold on just one moment. McGregor, no one is attacking the prophets. Just get that straight. Until I have facts justifying an attack, there are victims, just like Seth, just like Sebastian. Now, what were you saying?
Agreed. I'm talking about the wider social media community.
I think the 7th
that 45
to hell with them. I don't care what a bunch of trolls on the internet are saying. I care about the facts. Now, what would be the 2 investigations?
Sure. Criminal and non-criminal is what you're looking at. And, when you're looking at criminal, you're looking at possibility of abduction. You might have a stranger abduction, although Sebastian, that usually happens to younger males or females predominantly. You have the possibility of family abduction. Again, most children who are abducted by a family member are toddlers. And then you have the possibility of family homicide. And for children on the autism spectrum disorder, 90% are male at age 5 to 15. So that's the criminal side that you're looking at. And then on the non-criminal side, the most likely scenario would be a runaway or a throwaway. And the difference there is a runaway, the child leaves on their own, and a throwaway, the parent has kicked the child out of the home and not let them return for some period of time. And if that's the situation we're looking at here with Sebastian, then any number of scenarios could have happened after that. Lost, injured, an accident. So these are the different scenarios that law enforcement will be looking into.
What do you all think about that? Do you think I can't. Do you think, like he says, it could be where he ran away and ran into some trouble, or he was a throwaway? Could he have run for his life, the door locked? No. He would have been spotted. There would have been a scent, right? There wouldn't have been lights in the backyard. Well, maybe looking for him. I don't know, but it just doesn't fit with all we've learned in 11 months. So we don't know for sure, but it sure seems like it. She did not want to hear him say to her, before we're accusing the Proudfoots, because she is not. She's just, they're talking. She's going over the facts. And, quite frankly, they were invited to this and declined. Shocker, right? But they declined. And that would have been national coverage for them to have a chance to talk to Sebastian about Sebastian. They wouldn't have had to talk about anything else. They could have just said, we're going to come on, we're going to keep it to Sebastian. But they declined. Let's keep going. No, he did not run away. He was carried away, in my opinion, as well, Lady Roses. And that's just my opinion. But what I like to say is, because there are some other people who we don't know, and there are other people with other opinions. So I always want you all to know you can have your own opinions too. But you know my opinion. Shell Bell, I hope not. Oh, also, did you hear Justin gave us a little bit of a clue? Now, I talked to a neighbor and I talked to Tony and Seth, but not nearly like Justin does. Justin is way more in the loop than I am. And did you hear Justin say that that's why we're waiting? We're waiting. Okay. Now, remember, there's going to be a search in the spring and the summer all over Tennessee. So remember he said, just because we're waiting. No, he didn't say that's why we're waiting, just because we're waiting. So they're waiting for something specific, my friends. And that is why my family, right? And that is why those searches are happening in the spring and the summer. I don't want it to either, Shell Bell. Realistically, statistically, it's one option, right, of two. Right? And I don't want it to be. And I pray for Seth and Sebastian and that they're reunited. And no one has shown us, anything to prove. Well, you know what, though? The video doesn't even prove that. The video could be either or again also, right? It doesn't look good, obviously. And I'm sure poor Seth. Let's go ahead and keep going. Thank you, Shellbell. You too. I don't want it either. I don't. Thanks, Lady Roses. I did hear that the head of the FBI was arrested today. I read something on it yesterday, too. Wow. Yes, Truth for Us. Oops, I didn't hear. I was reading Misty's. Hold on. Misty's. I don't want to put your messages up because I don't want my fair use thing to go away. In my opinion, KP didn't go on NG because she always invoked, she already, oh, you corrected it down there, already invoked her Fifth Amendment rights with law enforcement. So it would be extra stupid for her to come on a national news channel. Most likely, yes. Most likely. And I was watching a show where someone invoked their fifth, and they said it was an officer, and he said it just, makes you think of guilt, even though they have every right to do so. But it makes you think of guilt. Let's keep going. Justin Clutch our pearls, our dear friend. He's so kind to me as I've been building my channel. By the way, please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't. And I'm just so happy that he had this opportunity. He deserves it. He's wonderful. He's kind. And there aren't many like him out here on the streets. And I just truly appreciate his friendship. And I'm so happy for him.
Crime Stories, Nancy Grace. Joining us is another special guest, the star and host of Clutch Them Pearls YouTube channel. An enhancement has occurred on very grainy and difficult to see video. This video occurred around 3 a.m. 3 a.m. just before Sebastian was reported missing. Sebastian's mother, Katie Proudfoot, states that she went into Sebastian's room around 6 a.m. Just 3 short hours before that, shadowy images were revealed around Sebastian's home. Where exactly was it? Was it in the backyard or beside the Justin?
For having me, Nancy. So this was in an area, what they call the common area. There was a car that pulled on the very beginning of the street where Sebastian lives. This individual got out of their car. They walked through the common area toward the home. A few moments later, you can then see there is 2 individuals coming back.
I am going to absolutely find out everything in the video. If I have to take it to and pay whatever, we're going to find out every bit of that video. I'm telling you, if it can be done, all of it we are going to get it done
with flashlights.
Now, what's
And-
interesting is at the beginning, and let me throw this to Tony Mathis joining us. At the beginning, Tony, the video was very difficult to make out, but what you're hearing Justin Jensen describe is much more clear. Actually, take a listen to our friends at Crime Online.
4 weeks after Sebastian Rogers goes missing, mother Katie Proudfoot leaves the family home to be with her husband in their travel trailer while he goes back to work around the Memphis area. While Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, and an army of volunteers continue to look for Sebastian, Katie Proudfoot says she is concerned about leaving, but defends the decision to leave by saying her son could be anywhere, and they are looking at.
We're going to track everything. We're going to figure it out.
Everywhere. Katie Proudfoot doesn't know when she will return to her home.
That video from our friends at News Channel 5. Justin Jensen, you have obtained enhanced video. Now, could I see that from News Channel 5 again, please? We're looking at video. It's home security camera footage. Justin, if you were looking at Sebastian's home, would these flashlights be to the left?
It's really sad. It's really sad, Terry, that there is, because any of them that's ever been on any other program, I've always been like, you go. It's insane.
Or the right of the home in the common area?
It would be, it's behind the home.
Behind the home. Okay, got it.
Okay.
So at 3 a.m., Seth Rogers, there are two people lurking in the back of Sebastian's home. 3 a.m., then 3 hours later, he's gone.
Law enforcement has not explained that video to me.
Let's take a look at the enhanced video. Now, Justin, who enhanced the video?
So one of my team members enhanced the video.
In this video, it appears as if the vehicle is a truck. And it appears as if there are two individuals, a taller individual on the left, a shorter individual to the right, and behind the tall individual. It looks as if the two are carrying a big black bag of some sort.
Can you believe it? I cannot believe Nancy Grace saw the images and described what we have seen. Some of us see it different, but unbelievable that she sees in those images too what we see. It's undeniable, in my opinion. And that's why I say I don't think Brandon Carter was trying to I don't think Brandon Carter truly let a mistake go for 11 months and TBI did and let FBI spread it and the whole world spread it from the very beginning. I think just like the flashlight, they tried to deter with the trash truck. I think they're trying to do that because the images and that email were both released around the same time. So I think they're trying to get us back to, okay, now the date, they got mixed up. So the date's the 25th now. So therefore, anything you're seeing on imaging in the backyard, in the commons on the 26th isn't him. Last seen on the 25th. Wow. But I think it's a strategy. I think just like the flashlights, they're trying to get us off of it and away from it while they do their investigation, is my opinion. You form your own. I know a lot of you think it's inadequacy and that's the other choice, but I just don't think the FBI. Now, I know a lot of the descriptions are identical, like they just copied and pasted it from the beginning. So I guess it could be, but there's also Facebook posts that say the 26th, things like that. TBI has a write-up on March in their newsroom on Sebastian that says last seen on the 26th. So, wow, right? But I think they're trying to get us off the images now just like they tried with the flashlights. Let's get back to it. We're listening to Nancy Grace and Seth Rogers and Tony Mathis and our friend Justin Clutch Them Pearls. Well, our friends Tony and Seth too. So thank you so much for being here. Family, I love our reunions, our time together. Spread the word. We always do have a good time. Thank you so much for being here, and sorry it was a little late tonight.
Jensen, could you describe what the enhanced video seemingly reveals?
So it shows that, at least in my opinion, that there is two individuals around the vehicle of some sort. They seem to be around the back of the vehicle, and then it's very short that they are in the back. Later, the one person gets back in the vehicle while the other person runs toward the common area, toward the area toward the Proudfoot home. And then later they back up and they leave the neighborhood.
Listen to this.
It was really hard to speak. I had, whenever you have like an echo in your feed, it's hard for you to speak. Like that was going on. It was going in and out. So when it was echo, like I'm like, push through it, motherfucker. I'm like, you better push through it.
When I was enhancing the photos, I could see the differences in the appearance of what looks to me to be a human face. And it looked to me like it was actually a human arm that was draped over the person who was carrying the black blanket, or the perceived person in the black blanket. But here's an example of what I saw. Here you can see the differences in enhancements. And as I enhanced each photo, you can tell that the person's skin stays the same color and the black blanket also stays the same color. So I know that those two images are associated with each other. So as you can see, each time I enhance the photo, you can see that the core images stayed the same.
This from our friends at Lady Freedom's Raw Narratives on YouTube. Can't find him.
Yeah, let's give it up for Lady Freedom as well. She's good job, Lady Freedom. Keep it up. Keep up the good work, Lady Freedom. Seth does Murder Mystery Grandma. Seth knows it's not a trash truck. He knows it's not a trash truck. This video was never supposed to be out. It's going to be, in my opinion, a crucial part of this case. It's going to be a crucial part. That, along with what other videos close to where the house that we're looking from, they're going to be very important. You pushed it like salt and pepper. Pushed it. That's fine. Thank you.
Where is he? The hunt is on for this boy. Did he wander away from home? Where is Sebastian Rogers? Joining us is Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers. Seth, before we look at that enhanced video again, could you describe the so-called common area beside and around Sebastian's home?
From my recollection, there's some trees and there is a gazebo out there.
I'm curious, who has access to the common area? And that does not preclude an intruder, but who would have access to that? Not only Sebastian's mom and stepfather, but everybody else in that neighborhood, right?
Yeah, it's open. It's all fenced in.
Another theory in the search for Sebastian remains out there. But regarding this that we saw from our friends at Lady Freedom on YouTube, Justin Jensen, you and I have poured over the enhanced video over and over and over. And it's like an X-ray or an MRI. Mm-hmm. You need an expert to dissect it and interpret it. As you have poured over it, time after time after time, along with Lady Freedom. What do you see?
I see very similar, in my opinion, to what Lady Freedom sees. It appears that there is two individuals with carrying something. Now, what that is, I have no idea. This is speculation, but they are around a car or a truck of some sort. From sources, they say that this appears to be a sedan. In their opinion, local neighbors have spoken out and said. So, Nancy, I wanted to talk about the common area when you was talking to Seth just a moment ago. The common area, it was a term that was first used by a local reporter. All it is a few neighbors' backyards. They're all private property. That is just a few backyards. And these individuals were walking through these backyards during the 3 a.m. time.
In the last days, we learn about a tip that was hunted down. Listen.
Dog the Bounty Hunter joined the search for Sebastian in September and immediately started getting tips after $100,000 reward money for information. A tip comes into the team about a possible sighting of Sebastian Rogers at a Motel 6 in Goodlettsville. Minutes after the tip is called in, a team of licensed investigators and contractors take action. A boy matching the description of Sebastian is seen walking into a Motel 6 room, and investigators call 911 immediately to get police on the way while the team stands by watching the room.
Seth Rogers, were you aware of the Motel 6 tip?
Yes, ma'am.
Did they tell you when it was happening?
No, they told me shortly after.
What were you told?
That there was a tip at Motel 6 and that there were people there certainly waiting for law enforcement to show up.
Tony Mathis, what happened with the Motel 6 tip?
As they said, we had a team of people there watching, making sure that the suspected person that looked like Sebastian did not leave or was not taken out of there. Law enforcement came, talked to the family, and turned out it was another similar lookalike, but was not related to Sebastian.
Hey, Seth Rogers, you state that tips are coming in every week. What does it do to you to chase down a tip with your team and dead end? How do you keep doing it?
With every tip that comes in, we have to track it down. We won't know if Sebastian's at the end of the tip until we do. The only goal is to find Sebastian.
There was a few footprints in some of the softer dirt headed straight this way on the track that he was running. Truck 47, what kind of shooters do you wear? Size 10s. So to any units that are going to be assisting with 1008, please come to 1008 Evercore now, please.
When Sebastian Rogers first went missing, tips were pouring in. Footprints allegedly were found.
This is airing nationwide, worldwide. We have our dear friends in here from Australia, over the pond, South Africa. Okay. Other places, let us know if you're in other places. We're all watching. Nancy Grace is so popular, like Dog the Bounty Hunter brings a different audience to the case, right? And Nancy Grace is discussing the images in the backyard. Okay. She's also acknowledging that there's another theory. Trigger. And I've known that for a while, that was a theory, but I was told in confidence about the trash theory, and so I wasn't going to say it. So now that theory's out. And I knew that was Sumner County's theory and, other individuals, but it wasn't my place to say. So let's go ahead and continue. Thank you for being here. We're almost done, my friends.
There was talk that there had been the hit of a canine, possibly rendering information tonight. Where is Sebastian? The search and the heartbreak seemingly never ending as new enhancement of video of home surveillance takes the center stage. Tonight, we learned that there are multiple theories, two in particular, as to what happened to Sebastian. Listen.
There are multiple theories on what could have happened to Sebastian Rogers, but two seem the most likely. One is that Sebastian left in the trash. This is based on a search of a Kentucky landfill where garbage from his neighborhood was taken and dumped. The second working theory is centered around a video showing what appears to be flashlights being carried by what appears to be two individuals in the backyard of Sebastian's home at 3:10 a.m., the Monday he was reported missing. The theory is the flashlights were two people working together and carrying Sebastian to a vehicle 3 hours and 20 minutes before he is reported missing.
Straight out to Sebastian's father, Seth, joining us, and you can find him and the very latest at Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father, on YouTube. Seth, what and when were you told? What were you told and when were you told that Sebastian was missing?
I was told on the 26th when I returned the phone call to Chris.
And you were told what?
That he was missing. That there were police all over there at the house.
What did you do?
I headed straight to his mom's house. He was missing.
When you got there, what did you observe?
There were there were search vehicles with dogs and stuff in them. There was law enforcement everywhere.
What did the Proudfoots tell you?
That Katie woke up and he was missing.
At that time, where was the stepfather, Chris Proudfoot?
From my understanding, he was in Mississippi. Katie told me that when she woke up Monday morning that he wasn't in his room and she can't find him. When I got off of work, I had a text message from stepfather Chris, and he told me that Sebastian was missing.
Straight back out to the spokesperson for Sebastian's father.
I wish Seth had said that the text said, or what he first said when he called him was, "Don't be mad." What's going on in there? I want clues. Bless. Okay, hold on. Hi, Tori Banks. Was CP on a panel tonight, or was it him that apologized? I don't know, hon. I haven't been able to visit what's going on. Catch me up, y'all. Truth for us. What's C, female with fiance? Oh, gotcha. But I don't know what you mean. Oh, gotcha. But I'm going to see. When? Truth for us. I stepped away, remember, for a little bit while I lost my mom. When did he bother the neighbor? Yes, I do remember. I'm sorry. Of course I do. My friends who've become dear friends. Yes. Okay. Anyway. Well, apologizing is one thing. I'd love to know why. What was he looking for? Did he say where he's living, truth for us? Oh, gotcha. CLUE did. Okay. Oh, in what way? Was it on X? Was it? I don't watch them. If I listen to that kind of, I can't. Okay. She apologized. Got it. Thank you for writing C, and then I got the wrong C. I appreciate y'all. So she did it in video. Okay. Glad to hear it. Thank you. You all are amazing. You see, you keep me up. Thank you all. You know that? I'm just going to say, I'm glad she apologized. And that's better late than never. And if she said I just read where she felt bad, someone said, that's amazing. And that takes, you guys, that takes a lot to do on live social media. Okay. So give a little credit where credit is due for that one. Okay. If you sent me an email with spring winds, I have many. And y'all, I'm so sorry because you know that between work and everything, I haven't gotten to my emails, and I've seen some of you send some things. Is CB here? Is CB here right now? Because she sent me a message, but my phone died, so I haven't been able to respond to her. And it was a while ago. Okay. I'm wanting to give her that answer, and I haven't. Okay, so let's go ahead. I think we're at the end. So let's go ahead and finish this up. I think it just validates it. Oh, that's what I wanted to, that's what I stopped it for real quick. I think it's really interesting that there's two theories. One is the trash may have been heavy and he went out with the trash, God forbid, and that's why they waited to call. I've always thought the trash might be involved, but listen to the details she gives with the other theory. 3 hours and 20 minutes before Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is reported missing at 3:10 a.m., it appears two individuals possibly are carrying him in a backyard. And what I'm saying is that makes me think there's a lot more detail to support, a lot more evidence right there than, well, the trash may have been a little heavier, and we don't know what they have, if they have a scale or what. Then 3 hours and 20 minutes before he disappeared at 3:10 a.m. Wow. And we've known that time, but okay, we've heard a lot of, oh, you guys, you're being silly. That's just silly. Okay. Nancy Grace is saying at 3:10 a.m., two individuals carrying something in the backyard. Let's finish up.
Seth Rogers, Tony Mathis, in order to get a warrant to search a dump site, very often the landfill will just give you permission, but crossing T's and dotting I's, often there is a backup warrant in case they say no. So there had to be PC probable cause to search that landfill.
Correct.
What, if anything, do you know? What led them to that landfill?
Nancy, that was before I got involved in helping Seth, but I just have a couple of responses to that. One, I don't think there is such thing as a precautionary measure to get a PCA to search a landfill. And the other thing that I'll tell you is that I do believe that law enforcement knows a lot that they're not sharing with the public, and I believe they're working very hard. They've got a lot of evidence, and they will figure this out.
Well, I agree with that, but I want to specifically look at the theory behind the landfill search. We all know that for there to be a warrant, there has to be a probable cause affidavit. Law enforcement can't just search your home or your car unless you're taking off in it, or a business or a landfill without a warrant. That's under the Constitution, Fourth Amendment, guaranteed. To get a warrant, LA law enforcement must go before a magistrate or judge. They work 24/7. You can even get them over the phone. There has to be an affiant, typically law enforcement, an agent, an officer.
Thank you, Cassie, for 7 months. If Nancy did not believe the light or photo, she would not say what it talks about. Well, there's things, you gotta, show before. So I'll just
swear under oath to probable cause that supports that search. The judge will determine objectively if there is enough probable cause to justify invading a person or a business's privacy.
I don't know what you mean.
So in order for that search to take place of that dump, of that landfill, there has to be PC. What led them to that landfill? To Justin Jensen joining us, host of YouTube channel Clutch Them Pearls. What can you tell us about the landfill search?
So you make a great point, Nancy, right? There has to be probable cause. The only thing that I could think of would be something related to the trash truck that ran on the 26th, Monday, early hours around 5 a.m. The trash truck runs very early in that neighborhood. It is also seen on camera. So, you know, did they see something, coming out of the house? It's, anyone.
Okay, you know what? Let me follow up on that. Today, Moyer joining us from Georgia Canine National Training Center, former deputy K9 with San Bernardino Sheriffs. I imagine with your experience with canines that you have done grid searches at disposal sites or landfills. Question to you. Before you do a search at a dump, you make sure that the trash from a particular location is at that landfill. Isn't that right?
Yes, ma'am, you do. And it's all about the time on target for having the dogs in that environment, because it is wildly contaminated and is incredibly harmful to the dogs. Not to mention the fact it's difficult to actually find the decomposing human odor there, just because there is so much of it there that is actually naturally decomposing. Everything from Band-Aids to tampons to you name it. There's all kinds of stuff in a landfill that I don't really want my dog walking through. Neither do I want to walk through it, but you do what you got to do when you're ordered to do so. So again, that's one of those. It's an incredibly difficult environment, but having participated in several dump searches over the years looking for homicide victims, it is very, very time consuming, and it is an incredibly intricate process.
And tonight we learn that law enforcement
incredibly time consuming, and that has always bothered me. That has always bothered me, how little short time to me, and I'm not a professional, but I saw Quentin Simon, how long they were there. A long time, and they found him. Okay. Hi MTB. Hi. Hello everyone. If I haven't said hello to you, I hope I have. So good to see you, family. I just find it amazing that she brought that up. Absolutely amazing that she would not discuss that on her channel if she thought it was nonsense and drama. Okay. Like, for instance, some of the things that have been said about the P-Foots or Seth. She's not discussing that dramatic stuff, right? That's not on her show, but she discusses the facts and she tries to get to it. So I find it very telling. It speaks volumes to me that the video, the little images, the videos being shown, they're discussing it. She even says it looks like there's two people carrying a load, something. She is a no-nonsense woman. You betcha, Shellbell. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and finish this up. And please go take the poll that I put out a little while ago, that asked if you're interested. Well, just go ahead and take the poll in the community post if you would. Thank you so much.
Possibly reviewing evidence, footage from the Roadhouse restaurant video where Sebastian and his mother were eating. Listen.
Security video and still photos taken in the parking lot and inside the Texas Roadhouse show a man in a green hoodie coming in close contact with Sebastian Rogers just hours before the 15-year-old vanishes from his home. Internet detectives and social media sleuths have gone into overdrive trying to identify the man and provide the information to law enforcement in an effort to bring Sebastian home, claiming there is new evidence and a potential suspect.
This video from Night Private Agency at-night private agency. A lot of questions have arisen upon re-examination of the Roadhouse video. Let's take a look at it very quickly. Everyone on the panel, please look at your monitors.
Thank you, War.
First of all, it's been noted that when Sebastian does eat, he seems like he is starved. And interesting, we keep seeing Miss Proudfoot on her phone and looking around. If you stay on her, you will see her as if she's meeting someone and over checking her phone. Mom is looking everywhere but across from her. Now, according to internet sleuths, someone else in the restaurant is acting inappropriately. What does that mean? Video cams outside. Look, guys, look at what's happening. Two special guests joining us, Tony Mathis, spokesperson for Seth Rogers. What is it? What is it about a person in a green hoodie that attracted the attention of so many internet sleuths?
Well, Nancy, I think that people are starving for information. I think they were overanalyzing this video. I think we could watch any normal video of a normal situation and find people that don't appear to be acting normal. But we don't believe that anybody in these videos has anything to do with what happened with Sebastian at this point.
Seth, do you believe the Roadhouse video shows anything inappropriate or from someone in a green hoodie?
It does seem odd. Law enforcement has verified that individual in their story. I find it odd behavior for anybody to be hiding behind somebody's vehicle.
What was the odd behavior, Seth?
Just being behind somebody's vehicle like that shouldn't be there. I mean, I was raised you would move out of people's way.
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. One lead after the next seemingly ends up in a dead end. This as demands for polygraphs go on. I know this. I know Seth Rogers has taken a polygraph. Listen, have the two of you
Before we switch from the Texas Roadhouse to polygraphs, very surprising, she brought up the Texas Roadhouse. Now, she said in her eyes, now remember, Nancy, okay, a prosecutor. She knows the questions to ask and she knows the answer she's looking for. And she said she knows what she's looking at. She said meeting someone. It looked like she was meeting someone. Looking around like she was meeting someone. Eve, okay. And she said people have seen someone acting inappropriately inside. Now, I know Jen Coffindaffer says that, but she's seen additional footage that I do not have access to. And even Seth said, for the first time, I think I've heard Seth address this, that it's very odd behavior that the person was standing like that behind the vehicle. Now, mind you, this has already been debunked, and we're still finding it odd. I even wondered the other day, it popped in my head, what if that person passed, allegedly, something that they were supposed to use to sedate Sebastian? Because that's what they, passing it along so they would sedate them before transfer movement. Allegedly. No one's being accused. This is for entertainment purposes only. We're speculating while we look for this young man as we get to the 1 year mark, theorizing, brainstorming, trying to do whatever we can do. It's okay to agree. We agree to disagree and learn from each other here in our chat. And I appreciate all of you being kind to different opinions and thoughts, because that's what they are, thoughts and opinions. And I believe that's the end, but let's go ahead and check it out. Let me make sure.
taken a polygraph?
I have.
I have not.
Would you be willing
media sleuths have gone into overdrive trying to identify the man and provide the information to law enforcement in an effort to bring Sebastian home, claiming there is new evidence and a potential suspect.
This video from Night Private Agency. At Night Private Agency. A lot of questions have arisen upon re-examination of the Roadhouse video. Let's take a look at it very quickly. Everyone on the panel, please look at your monitors.
Thank you, War.
First of all, it's been noted that when Sebastian does eat, he seems like he is starved. And interesting, we keep seeing Miss Proudfoot on her phone and looking around. If you stay on her, you will see her as if she's meeting someone and over and over checking her phone. Mom is looking everywhere but across from her. Now, according to Internet Sleuth, someone else, I know Seth Rogers, has taken a polygraph. Listen, have the two of you taken?
I think we could watch any normal video of a normal situation and find people that don't appear to be acting normal. But we don't believe that anybody in these videos has anything to do with what happened with Sebastian at this point.
Seth, do you believe the Roadhouse video shows anything inappropriate or odd from someone in a green hoodie?
It does seem odd. Law enforcement has verified that individual in their story. I find it odd behavior for anybody to be hiding behind somebody's vehicle.
What was the odd behavior, Seth?
Just being behind somebody's vehicle like that shouldn't be there. I mean, I was ready to move out of people's way.
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. One lead after the next seemingly ends up in a dead end. This as demands for polygraphs go on. I know this. I know Seth Rogers has taken a polygraph. Listen, have the two of you taken a polygraph?
I have.
I have not.
Would you be willing to?
I've offered and volunteered on many occasions to take a polygraph, and I was told directly by law enforcement because of my whereabouts, I did not need one.
I understand. Ms. Proudfoot, did you pass your polygraph?
I did.
Do we know to either Tony, Seth, or Justin whether the Proudfoots took a polygraph?
Well, Chris, he said he wasn't going to do a polygraph. He actually said he was going to do a polygraph on your show. He said name the time and place, and then I guess he later backed out and said TBI had told him not to do a polygraph. However, did a polygraph for you on your show. We did email the caseworker on Sebastian's case, is the detective who has been the detective for the last 11 months. He did state, because last time on your program, Chris had said that he could not give you exact dates that he was in the home. The detective had emailed me back and stated that Chris could give any dates he wanted.
And did that happen? Did he give those dates?
He has still not given dates that he was in the home, around the home, from the 1st of February onward until the morning Sebastian went missing.
To Ken Schull joining us.
That's where I wanted, where she said, well, she said, I find that interesting. And then she said, okay. And it kind of paused a moment. And then she said, okay, I gotta, dig up for the Proudfoots. And she said, well, Justin, they don't owe anything to YouTubers. And I was like, you're right. But I wanted to say that right there, what you just heard was the last thing that I said, and then we left, right after that. There was no more recording after that, even though, they piece it together. But I wanted to say, why do we know where Katie was the entire month? Why do we know where Sebastian was the entire month? Why do we know where Seth was the entire month? And why is there just one person who lives in that house as well that we can not, that he's the only one The only one that can't tell us where he was.
I am so absolutely proud of Justin for getting that in about that he received information that he was not told he couldn't speak or give dates or do certain things. And I'm glad he got that in there. And just why, the question is, just like when KP invoked the Fourth Amendment, or the Fifth Amendment, excuse me, right? Why? Well, the question is why? And I think we all have our opinions, and that's all it is. Remember, I wasn't home, right? Exactly. Hello. And if I haven't said hello to you, thank you for being here. I missed a couple people lately who've come in, and I'm so sorry. Hi, Stacy Michelle. And I don't do it intentionally, but I just, y'all, I just think that right now with this coming out in Brandon Carter saying, oh, we've gotten for 11 months from the very beginning, the dates mixed up. It's the 25th he was last seen. We just didn't bother, TBI didn't bother to fix that. That was their responsibility. And then TBI has it on their site. If you missed my live earlier today, I went through some of the communications and the order in which they were. Okay. And I don't believe that it's a mistake. I think it's just like the trash truck and the flashlights. I think they don't want the people who are in that footage, because if we can see that, you know that they've cleaned it up, the Secret Service. I mean, like I said so many times now, they probably look like they're standing right in front of them. They know who that is, and they didn't want that out. So now they're trying to say no, debunk it by saying no. Okay, because there's sure a lot more details leaning towards evident or circumstantial evidence leaning towards the 3:10 a.m. There's a sedan, flashlights. Like she said, it looks like two individuals carrying something in the backyard 3 hours and 20 minutes before. That was on Nancy Grace, and I don't think she'd put that out there if she didn't believe it to be true. Let's go ahead and finish up. He's doing such a great job. I'm so glad he's getting important information out there. Good job.
Oh, Nancy is a smart cookie. She's a smart cookie. Yes, she is. Certainly is.
Polygraph examiner and former head of the entire FBI program in DC, former special agent.
Okay, listen to this. This is the FBI who is over top the polygraph division. He's got a big FBI sign behind him. Listen to this. Let me just rewind this a little.
Until the morning Sebastian went missing.
To Ken Schull joining us,
Right here,
polygraph
listen to this.
examiner and former head of the entire FBI program in DC, former special agent with the FBI. You can find him at Ken at Kendall Investigation Polygraph and Private Investigators. Ken, you performed the polygraph on Seth Rogers. What happened?
My questions reference whether or not he had anything to do with the disappearance of Sebastian, and
that's right. No restrictions on anyone.
If he was involved in any way in the disappearance. I did the polygraph test, asked all the questions, total I think 3 times, maybe 4 times, and he said no to both those questions, and he clearly passed the test in my opinion.
This is someone who is literally the best polygrapher bar none. Like, absolutely the best polygrapher in the country. Nancy jumped through a lot of hoops to get this answered, to get Seth and Edgar a polygraph, and made it very easy for Edgar to get his polygraph. Literally, they went to him. They would have went to him. He says Seth absolutely passed.
He was telling the truth.
Joining us now, special guest, Courtney Lasky, board certified behavior analyst and autism expert. You can find her at True North Behavioral Consulting. Courtney, thank you for being with us. Courtney, we are sifting through new leads, new enhanced video, and also looking back at everything we know. Much has been made of how Sebastian may act due to his autism. If Sebastian is alive now, which is everyone's prayer, he may not understand how to get back home.
Absolutely. This case has just weighed on my heart, worrying about Sebastian. I know that from past videos and hearing Mr. Rogers speak, we know that he does have a deficit in that communication and his social skills. And like you mentioned, if he is with someone new, if he is out of his routine, that will be severely affected. And we could see a further regression in those skills. He might not be able to communicate his identity, where he should be, and who he should actually be with.
If anyone believes that they see Sebastian, given his autism, what should they do?
They absolutely need to call in the tip line, call the law enforcement immediately, but keep an eye on Sebastian. Tread very lightly, don't force conversation. We don't want to do anything that could scare him. Be very calm, collected. Let him come to you if that opportunity exists.
Tony Mathis is joining us. Tony, at the beginning, there was information out there that there had been a canine hit. Now we're hearing there never was a hit.
Correct. The law enforcement has come out and said very clearly that they had no evidence that he ever left the home. And that kind of ties into your question about the landfill. I mean, there's not a lot of theories that would follow that up. One of those could be that he left in the trash dumpster in the trash truck, and that's how he got out of the neighborhood. So I think that all kind of ties into the theory, no dog hits, and that there's no proof that he ever left the home.
Dave Moyer joining us.
I'm really glad that he shared that theory. Because I've wanted to tell you all that was a theory for a while. I've always worried about the trash, but I wonder, then where do we put, where does that put us with the flashlights and the carrying and the images? So I'm wondering if the trash was heavier for a different reason. But that landfill search, they didn't take extensive time. It's time consuming, like the professional on here tonight said. They weren't even in hazmat suits. What were they looking for? Because I called that landfill and they told me everything's dumped in a cell from location, like each location's assigned a cell, but immediately they start moving and, crushing and moving and crushing and moving and crushing and moving. And these guys came in on the 4th, so that would have been, or 7th, right? Or was it the 7th or the 11th? No, the 7th. So about 11 days in, approximately. So it wouldn't have even been near the top. You'd have to dig all the way down and then move to where, right? And they weren't even in hazmat suits. And then if you think back to Quentin Simon, I know they were there weeks. They found him weeks in hazmat suits, masks, you name it. So it was a really odd, and then Sonny Weatherford, the sheriff at the time, may he rest in peace. He's beloved by his community, by the way. Well, he was beloved. He said that, he said we were only here on a hunch, and we now know, we've been told they were trying to, just like the flashlights in the trash truck. And I believe now the images and the new date last seen, the 25th, we just forgot to change it 11 months ago. My goodness, no. Jobs would be gone. People wouldn't do that, in my opinion. Okay. So, no, I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Apparently that's not that Sebastian's scent has not been hit on at all. Tory Banks, we have heard several. Yes, you're right. Absolutely correct. But it's being verified now. Absolutely nothing. All the efforts over 11 months, Stephen. Yes. You got it, you guys. And I mean, my heart breaks. And I think, when you, like I said last night, there's just too much. And I look forward to when I can speak openly with you. But these people, everyone's so, out of control. Let's just let law enforcement speak, right? Yes, Stephen, it has. It's been affecting us. But guess what? I think they're close. I think now in light of, this coming out and now being on national TV, they have no choice than to address this, I believe. It's Nancy Grace. It's not social media YouTubers. So I think we're probably going to be hearing something, in my opinion, and I'm not in the know. I'm just guessing like the rest of you. But I believe we're going to be hearing something soon about this. I'm sure it will be to debunk it, because I don't think that they expected individuals to be able to do the things that they can do in the true crime community. And we all have our different talents, right? And when you put all of us together, if we could put all of us together to add to those talents instead of poke at each other, can you imagine? That's why when you told me tonight, someone said they were sorry for something. Wouldn't that be just so cool if it was just going to end and people would just all work together and put the past behind and move forward? Wouldn't that be cool? You can hope, but I don't know. We're on the right side of all this, so we have to see how everything works out, right? And I don't mean right side of the case. I mean right side of behavior, the way we behave, in my opinion. The way we conduct ourselves. We don't have to make a change in that. So let's go ahead and keep going. Yes, and I just really think that, and there's so many law enforcement that, rely on or go to social media immediately with what they can show them without hurting the investigation. Okay. Like, I'm not sure who said it. I don't remember who said it, but someone said, it's a shame this didn't go out 11 months ago so the public could help. But here's why I think it didn't. I think it didn't, you all, because they know who it is. I mean, it's imagine, like I said, them enhancing what we see already. They know who it is. They didn't want them to know. And I pray whoever that is hasn't run. I pray they've been watching them. I pray they haven't been allowing them to leave the county like normal. You know how you see and hear, don't leave the county while we're investigating, or don't leave town. I hope that was said. I hope it, I mean, but I don't have faith in that because they've been to Oregon. Remember, I broke the Oregon sighting. I broke that with a records request that was given to me. And they've been to Florida. Well, they've been to a casino. We know they've been to the campground. I say Florida because I know the Step Socks were in Florida recently, so I misspoke. Wasn't that I was being shady trying to hide it. You all probably know more where they've been lately. We know they don't live, they're not in the home anymore. It's been dark for months. Last summer, we're not going to bring that up again. We're not going there right now, but so let's just see what's going on. I don't know. Do any of you know, because I was away because of everything with my bereavement and my mom. Do any of you know by chance if they had F for their share of Christmas break? I know, Tori. I know. That's what I think too. They're trying to find Sebastian first, but they're waiting to look. Or like Justin said, we're waiting. So there's a reason they're waiting. But I wish they would arrest them for all of this that's already out there. At this point, though, I probably think it's going to be taken to a grand jury. My opinion. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a cop. I'm not an investigator. I'm nothing. I'm a YouTuber who enjoys true crime. I like to research. I like to think and be logical and analytical and research. Sometimes I get it wrong. Absolutely. We all do. I just like to help with the kids, with whatever I can. Some people fly drones. That's why we could just be such a powerful community. Such a powerful community. But let's keep going because it's getting kind of late. Thank you all for hanging in there.
Georgia Canine National Training Center. Dave, I got a question. If Sebastian were carried to that, wrapped in a blanket, would dogs pick up scent?
That's going to be really dependent on how saturated that area is with his odor. Because he lives in the home and stays in the home most of the time, that area in and around the house where he might commonly get out and walk around if he walks down to the street and a number of times a day, any place on that property in the immediate vicinity is going to be saturated with the odor from just his daily activities. So it's going to be very, very, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just going to say it's very, very difficult for the dog to differentiate the odor of somebody. Let's, for the sake of argument, say he was being carried out without any active contact with the ground, to have a fresh trail leaving that area, because his odor would still be there, but it's going to be mixed in with the saturation of all of his other odor from just living in that home for as long as he has.
And Dave Moyer, there was also information disseminated that a trail was followed to a nearby body of water, like a pond. How do we know that scent, if it existed, because now Ellie is telling us there was never a scent picked up by canines. It was a scent to the pond. How do I know that didn't happen 2 days before when he was outside playing?
Generally, in that environment with as much contamination, that semi-urban, largely populated environment, there's going to be so much contamination that it'll completely obliterate his trail over a couple of days. But let's, for the sake of argument, say that he walked out to that body of water the day before with cooler temperatures in the springtime and a lot of moisture in the air. It is possible that the dog did follow an odor for a previous path that he might have taken.
We're hearing at this hour there is no canine hit at all. So what would that mean, Dave Moyer?
Based on my experience, and I've done literally thousands of these calls with folks with disabilities walking away from a home that they were staying in, it is very difficult to get the initial exit from leaving their immediate vicinity. And the reason for that is because they live in the home, they're walking around in the yard, and it just saturates that area with their odor. You've got to get outside of that immediate area and start to cast the dog out and see if you have any other obvious exits on the.
This is a criminal investigation. We know that. We know that this is a criminal investigation. So what does that mean? That means something of someone or someone's is involved in the hiding or concealment of Sebastian Rogers. That's what that means. If he is, whether he, you think that he walked off on his own, which there is no evidence to suggest that. We just know that he is not, that he has disappeared. Right. I believe he was taken out at 3:10 a.m., in my opinion.
The street going left or right. Again, if no exits at all, it would tell me that perhaps he's either A, hiding in the home, B, he got into a vehicle and drove away, or based on what we were talking about earlier, it is possible he was carried away and placed inside of a vehicle.
With me is Sebastian's father, and let me advise you how painful it is for him to talk about Sebastian's disappearance. Seth, you believe Sebastian is alive?
Because I have faith that he is. Until proven otherwise, my son is alive.
Seth, what?
Paper 041, sorry, seems there's a lot of us coming in late. Thank you so much, Paper. Thank you for being a member. Thank you so much, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Paper 04, man 1, we need a so they can get a scent profile. And I have, but there's a
So it is going to be airing next week. They're adding some information to it. I'm wondering, well, they're adding some information to it. And I think those images would not be on Nancy Grace if they were not pertinent, important. She would not be discussing them. And I want to come to the comments and see what all of you think. Let me go back a little bit so I can see what y'all have been saying. Good night. Good night, those of you. I'm going to in just a moment. Yeah, I hope so too, Whispering Winds. I hope that if this was a hoax, and we don't know, but I mean, we have our theories, some different than others. But if this is a hoax, which we've seen so many times, that's why I mean, there's just so many things, but sometimes it we're going to see it soon. I think it's coming, my friends. I really think something's coming soon. Actually, how could they not respond to this? How could they not respond to this? And wouldn't this make the individuals run? Right? I agree, Misty. So I agree. I totally agree. I do too, Shade A77. Absolutely. I do too. I'm brainstorming, I'm thinking, I'm going. And whenever I try and go through, because I try and be fair and balanced, and I try and take something, and say, well, what if it was this? And not what I'm thinking, but just another option, because it's about where Sebastian is, right? But then there's things that don't allow it to fit. Why in the world, if you have nothing to do with your child being gone, would you not want to speak? Use your Fifth Amendment right. I don't understand that. And maybe lawyers told her to do that. But, that's serious, highbrow-eyed. That's serious in my opinion, because they need answers to those questions that she doesn't want to answer. So my theory is I hope they got the answers to the questions through her lawyer. But I don't think so, because she's revoked her silence. That's my biggest concern. She has a right to do that. But the questions they were asking, that's what we should be focusing on, is not what she did. And I know it shocked us all, and I did a video on it too in a live. Yes, absolutely. It's shocking to us. But what we really need to think about is, what questions were they asking that she can't answer? Or a question or a subpoena, in whatever situation it was. Okay. Maybe it's a subpoena, whatever it is. Okay. But what is the question that she doesn't want to be asked, or what is the question they may have asked that she didn't want to answer? Right? And why is there anything? I just struggle with that. I struggle with it. They have a screening machine as well. When you search in the mud, you have to use rakes and shovels. Jennifer Gilly, you have a question. At Crime Time Buzz, could you please explain lights were seen on Katie's room at 3:06 a.m.? I cannot, my friend. I am sorry. I've been a little bit out of the loop with a family crisis emergency. So I'm 100. I'm not going to try and mislead you. Does anyone in the chat know the answer to this question? I'd like to know it too. The last I heard was she went to bed. The lights went. She went to bed. When she went to bed, a light went on in Sebastian's room. And there was a silhouette in the window of the living room, which she told her friend Laura on the 26th. They saw a silhouette in the window because she saw the footage, which then why for 11 months haven't you been screaming at the top of your lungs that there was someone in your home if you were home alone? But anyway, I digress. Sorry, Jennifer. That is all I know. So if something's come up lately, let's see if the chat can answer that for you. Y'all, have you heard anything? The apology was months ago. Queen Cece just looked. Okay. Okay. I know, Misty. I heard that. I've heard that. I usually am on top of things for you all, and I feel bad because you just lost your mother too. Oh, Jennifer Gilly, it is. It's hard. I feel distracted. I'm very sorry for your loss too, sweetie. I feel distracted a little bit. so I apologize. I'm here for you, Jennifer. And anyone else, we're here for each other. This is a pretty cool community, and I'm really glad to be with our family reunion tonight. I really am. I always enjoy being with all of you. So that is the end. Let me see if there's anything else. Yes. Thank you, Lady Roses. When you take the 5th, it's because you do not want to incriminate yourself. And again, I'm sorry. Again, why would we, if we weren't involved or know something or heard something or saw something, be able to incriminate ourselves and need to take the 5th? Okay. But Jen Coffindaffer did say, if it ends up being certain individuals from this whole circus that we've been watching going to trial, all those interviews of inconsistencies are going to be used, will be used in trial. Jen Coffindaffer, former FBI agent. Friends, we're going to get off of here. It's late. Thank you so much. I'm going to work on a video that I will get out tomorrow about Evelyn Boswell. They are seating the jury tomorrow. I want to catch you up on the case. It's also in Tennessee, just a few miles from where Summer Wells went missing. Summer Wells's father helped search for Evelyn. Interesting. And the trial is now, and it's tragic. It's gruesome. It's horrid. Her mother is on trial for unaliving her. And go back to the beginning, please, if you've missed it, because I gave a little recap. And tomorrow I will get a video out or do a live regarding Evelyn. I'll let you know how the jury selection went, and we'll catch up on the case. Please go take the poll so I know you're interested in it. I put it in the community post later or earlier today. That'll let me know if you're interested in justice for Evelyn. Not interested in her receiving justice, interested in that case. The mother, she lied and was arrested the first time, and she never got out of jail again, but she was arrested for lying to police, like numerous times, misleading police. And they arrested her, they put her in jail, and she has been there since 2020. And later on, months later, was charged with murder, abuse of a corpse, among others. She has, I'd be 18 to 20. I'll know tomorrow. Thank you, Whispering Winds, for letting me know you're interested. I'm very interested. I covered the case long ago before I had to take a break from my channel for my mother, and which I'm happy to do. I didn't mean to sound it like that. And I am excited to see justice for this little angel. She's just beautiful. I was working on the thumbnail before we got in here tonight. So please, I know we were worried about Sebastian. I promise you, I will keep reporting on Sebastian. Please give Evelyn's videos some love, because she is a sweet little doll baby who was, you could say, buried alive in a trash can, wrapped in 2 layers and put in a plastic bag. So I'll be covering her, and I'd hope that you'll follow me, and we will hope all these children can be brought home, located, people can be educated, and we can find some way to make them afraid to do these kinds of things. Because sometimes when they're that afraid, they'll think first, because a lot of these people think of themselves first. We need to, hi, Sandy. It's so good to see you. We're just wrapping up, love. Thank you. I came on an hour later because of that laptop clock thing again. I started sit down and it said I had an hour, so we're on later than normal. Sorry, Sandy. I just wanted to spend time with the family before the week. I'm glad. I hope you had a good time with your company. And Sandy, before we go, Jennifer had a question. Have you heard anything about lights seen on in KP's room at 3:06 a.m.? Sandy's a good source of information. Anyone else in the chat? Let me know. If anyone knows it. Yes, I was looking at that earlier today. So you did hear that. Okay. Has that been verified, Sandy? And where can I go see that? Okay, wait. Oh, wow. Okay, SF Investigate. Sorry, you guys. Again, usually more on my game. I'll get back into it. Oh, my goodness. Hi, Mally Cat. Hi, everyone. Thank you all. Hindsight as well. Yes, I know you all wanted me to watch Hindsight. So I will do so and touch base with all of you tomorrow night. I hope to get a video out in the morning to drop maybe during noontime on little Evelyn. So thanks so much for being here. You all, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here if you weren't here. So thank you for being passionate about the children, a voice for the children, helping, staying drama-free. You make it so wonderful to be here. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you very soon. Be safe until then, and prayers up for all the little ones. Let's bring him home and bring them all home. Talk soon. Thank you so much.